As a psychic angel messenger and angelic spirit channeler, I do talk to angels all day. And this is about my investigation on the Salvation Army. Supposedly, the Salvation Army is supposed to have a job program for homeless people. If you know homeless people, supposedly lots of them are war vets. Lots of people think that homeless people shouldn't be helped unless they're in a homeless shelter. But war vets are abused horribly, and they don't like to be trapped in buildings and told what to do all the time. So you have tons of people that are like, we're not gonna help homeless people unless they come to our homeless shelters. But the homeless people say, we're not going to the homeless shelters. We don't want to be trapped in there. We don't want to listen to all these people. So you got all the homeless people and they're saying, we want to work, but we don't want to go to the homeless shelter. Me and my husband personally help homeless people out all the time, or we did when we were married. And it's pretty easy. I was a housewife, and my husband is a car stereo competition guy, and his mom kicked him out of his home when he was young. So he had to live with tons of different people and struggle. So we do help homeless people out, and it's really easy. All they need is a shower and a ride, and they get on their feet really quickly within months. So that is all they need, is a shower and a ride. We keep tons of clothes in the basement, air mattress in the basement. Most of the time they prefer riding their bikes. So we give them a place to stay, and I drive them around, or I did drive them around. Sometimes they need to go to court. Sometimes they need to go here, go there. and then they save money. We don't charge them any rent. They save money really quickly. They get a car. They're to work and back really quick, and usually within 7 months they're out of our house. The last homeless person we helped out moved to Ohio. He got a car, and he met somebody really special, and her family lives in Ohio, so he moved to Ohio. Her family was gonna let them live with them until they found jobs over there. So people might not think I know what I'm talking about, but I actually do. Homeless people only need a ride and a shower and extra clothes, and they get on their feet really quickly. So I'm kind of frustrated that the Salvation Army doesn't even have a job program when I'm living in a motel right next to the Salvation Army. That makes sense that I'm living over here. My husband has tons of my clothes. He has all my stuff at our house. I have all my stuff at tons of family members' houses and my grandmother's house. So that makes sense that I'm living over here. I have a shower and an internet, and I can walk over there and sign up for their job program, get a ride to work and back. My family all works, and my grandma is elderly. She has a life, so she can't be driving me around everywhere. Obviously, housewives can drive people around everywhere, and housewives actually enjoy driving everybody around because they get that bored. And housewives actually enjoy homeless people's company because they find them really interesting. They like to talk about them. They don't like to talk about them. They like to hear what they have to talk about. They all have really interesting stories to talk. They all have really interesting things to say. So they actually enjoy it. The last homeless person me and my husband helped out, I was upset when he left. We had a living room and a family room, and he was into computers. So he had a recliner in our family room, and he sat there on his computer, and I would go in there. He'd tell me all about his computer stuff all the time, and he was really into the Illuminati. So I found everything. I found him really really interesting. I enjoyed getting up in the morning and having a cup of coffee and going in there and talking to him. And then he was really he didn't want anybody in my family to know he lived there. He'd take showers and be really quiet. And he got on his feet really quickly and wanted to move out. And I was upset. I I thought, well, it's gonna be boring when he leaves. So homeless people do want to work. Their only problems are transportation. Right now, I don't have a social security card because my ex-husband burned it. If I did have a car, I would already have a social security card. I would already have a job. My only problem in life is my transportation problem. I would just go right down to the Social Security building. I'd get a new Social Security card. I'd have it sent to my ex-husband's house. It only takes one day to drive around and fill out 45 job applications. I'd probably have a job at the end of the week. I have a CNC diploma, and I have to take care of my grandma every week, and I have since I got my diploma. So the point is homeless people's only problem is transportation. Why do people want them to be in a ditch looking all scraggly before they help them? Because they want to sit there and bark orders at them and tell them what they should and should not be doing. Nobody likes homeless shelters. Nothing in homeless shelters makes sense. If it's cold, you like to wear a hat because your head gets cold. I have a no hair. I'm a transgender. So normally my head is shaved and I get cold. If you're in the homeless shelter, it's really cold, and if you wear a hat, sometimes these women that work there will come and yell at you and tell you to take your hat off, and that doesn't make any sense. I have small children that get cold. If they're outside and they're cold, they put a hat on. So, and when you're in the homeless shelter, the people that work there aren't as intelligent as you, and they just sit there and talk, and you're forced to listen to them. So as a psychic angel messenger and angelic spirit channeler, I'm already picking up that nobody wants to help me find a job unless I'm laying in a ditch. I just left the abused women's shelter, and it was built like a prison. The doors were solid steel. Everything had alarms. Your cell phone wouldn't work in the building or your laptop. It was like a high security prison. Some people think, well, what a housewives that don't do anything all day and know about being homeless. I am homeless, and since I am a psychic angel messenger and angelic spirit channeler, I'm picking up I can't actually get any help unless I'm in all scraggly looking. Some people might wonder about it. I'm actually happier now that I'm homeless than I was when I was married. My husband is raising my 3 kids, and I find this to be a good thing. My kids were a lot of work, and now I don't have all that extra work. So I don't know who helps homeless people, but I know the Salvation Army doesn't help homeless people. I know that homeless shelters don't help homeless people because I've been to those places and they actually don't help them. It's degrading for grown people to be yelled at and barked orders and have be bar. It's degrading for grown people to have to be treated like children. I don't tell my children what to do. I'm sure you can tell that I'm that kind of mother. I just let them do whatever they want, and I always have. And they're teenagers, and they're all on the honor roll. What I want is to go to the Salvation Army where I was told they have a job program and for there to be a job program. It's also degrading to watch those YouTube videos where people are like, "Oh my, we fed this homeless person a meal and he started crying." They probably had to feed the homeless person a meal because the Salvation Army didn't have a job program. Why is everybody dropping all their stuff off at the Salvation Army if they don't even help homeless people out? Isn't all that stuff for homeless people? What are they doing with all that stuff? Me and my husband always dropped off all of our stuff at the Salvation Army. My grandma drops all her stuff off at the Salvation Army. What are they doing with all that stuff? I see huge Salvation Army trucks driving around picking up stuff. They don't even help out homeless people. They don't even have a job program. When hospital staff says they do have a job program, if you watch TV and you see all those bombs laying around outside, that's because they went to the Salvation Army after everyone told them to sign up for their job program. And when they got there, they found out they didn't even have a job program. So then they just lay around because everybody stole their stuff and took it to the Salvation Army.